When we think of Europe, we imagine grand cities, Paris, Rome, London. But hidden beyond the postcards and palaces lies another Europe, a land of whispers, ruins, and forgotten dreams. Today we journey through the unseen heart of the continent to uncover the stories nobody talks about. Once these valleys echoed with laughter and the hammering of blacksmiths, but centuries later, silence rules here. Each broken gate, each moss-covered arch tells a story of people who built, loved, fought, and vanished, forgotten by time, but never erased. Europe's forgotten places are more than ruins. They're codes of memory. Scholars call them the ghost lines, paths of lost kingdoms that shaped borders long before modern nations were born. Every stone hides a secret, waiting for someone to listen. In these forgotten corners, history breathes differently. The air still carries the scent of medieval fires, the songs of travelers, the prayers of monks. It's where Europe began, not in marble halls, but in humble villages like these. They called it the Castle of the Wind. No king ruled here. No crown was forged. Yet for centuries, people traveled miles to touch its stones. They said it held power, not of war, but of memory. That whoever stood here could hear the past whisper through the wind. Beneath this castle runs a network of tunnels, once used by monks escaping persecution. In their silence, they preserved knowledge the world tried to destroy. And when you walk here, you feel it, the pulse of history beneath your feet. Just beyond these hills lies a lake locals call the Mirror of Time. Legends say that when the moon is full, you can see faces of those who once lived here, reflected in the water. Folklore? Maybe, but every myth has roots in truth. As we go deeper, we'll uncover how lost kingdoms shape the Europe we know. In the secrets their silence still guards. The story continues, just beneath the surface. Far east of where tourists wander, the Carpathian Mountains guard secrets older than empires. Once, this was home to the kingdom of Dacia, a civilization erased by conquerors, remembered only in fragments of stone and legend. Yet even silence cannot bury a people's soul. Every artifact here tells a fragment of a forgotten book, of warriors who resisted Rome, of rulers who united tribes under a single banner. Their names fade in history, but their courage is written in the earth itself. Bohemia, the land of dreams and rebellion. Once a kingdom that dared to defy both church and crown. From its heart rose the Hussite warriors, men who fought not for gold, but for belief. The world remembers their revolts, but not the ideals they died to protect. Hidden in monasteries, the monks of Bohemia preserved forbidden knowledge, astronomy, philosophy, and the power of reason. They risked their lives to write down ideas that would one day spark revolutions. Knowledge, after all, has always been the truest rebellion. Far to the west, another forgotten kingdom once stood. The Cathars of Occitania. They called themselves the Pure Ones, seekers of truth beyond the authority of kings or popes. But truth has always been dangerous. Crusades came, fire followed, and the last of them vanished into the mountains. Even now, the villagers here whisper that the Cathars left behind a treasure, not of gold, but of wisdom. Some say the Holy Grail itself was hidden here, beyond reach, protected by time and faith. Throughout Europe, beneath our feet, lies a hidden map of tunnels, symbols, and codes left by those who refuse to be forgotten. The more we uncover, the more we realize. The story of Europe was never just written by kings. It was carved by the unseen, the unheard, the brave. In these halls, time stands still. The stones breathe. You can almost hear the voices of those who built this world and paid the price for its silence. Their message was simple. Truth endures. Even when the world forgets, history remembers. For centuries, Europe's greatest minds hid their truths not in books, but in symbols. Codes whispered through architecture, paintings, and even music. To those who can see, the continent itself is a living manuscript, written in light and stone. Look closer at the cathedrals of Paris, Prague, or Cologne. You'll see geometry and harmony that mirror the stars. Builders called themselves the Freemasons. Their blueprints were maps of the divine, translating heaven into architecture. To them, a cathedral wasn't a building, it was a message. Da Vinci understood this language better than anyone. His art and inventions carried riddles, numbers, shapes, and symbols drawn from forbidden sciences. While the world saw beauty, he saw blueprints for truth, hidden from those who would burn it. From the Templars who guarded sacred knowledge, to secret societies born in candlelit basements, Europe's thinkers created hidden brotherhoods. Their mission, to protect knowledge from dogma. Their method, silence. For centuries, truth survived in the shadows. In London, alchemists chased not gold, but enlightenment. They believed matter and spirit were one, that to purify lead was to purify the soul. Many failed, yet their experiments paved the path for modern chemistry and physics. Hidden wisdom became science. The codes were not confined to one place. Across Europe, artists, scientists, and thinkers spoke in the same hidden tongue. A silent brotherhood across time. Whether in Florence's frescoes or Oxford's libraries, they left messages for those who dared to look deeper. The labyrinth, an ancient design older than Christianity, appears in temples and cathedrals alike. To walk it was not to lose oneself, but to find meaning. Each turn a reflection of life's journey, each step a symbol of transformation. Even now, pilgrims walk it in silence, decoding faith with their feet. Hidden geometry shaped Europe's cities, from Rome's radial streets to Florence's spirals. Coincidence? Perhaps not. The same patterns repeat in art, in nature, in our very DNA. It's as if the builders knew. Harmony is not invented, it's discovered. Maybe that's the real secret Europe holds. Not gold or relics, but wisdom hidden in plain sight. The codes were never meant to stay secret. They were clues, guiding us back to what we once knew, that truth, art, and spirit are one and the same. Some empires fall, but some simply vanish. In our next chapter, we uncover the lost kingdoms that time refused to erase. Europe's story is written in shifting borders. Empires rise, fade, and are swallowed by time. But some didn't just fall, they vanished, leaving behind whispers, ruins, and riddles carved into stone. The Byzantine Empire, a bridge between worlds. Greek wisdom, Roman law, and Christian faith fused into one power that outlasted Rome itself. For 1,000 years, Constantinople stood as the beating heart of civilization. But one night in 1453, the heart stopped. Farther south, the Roman Empire's shadow still stretches across continents. From London to Lisbon, from Cologne to Carthage. Their roads remain beneath our feet, but the people who built them? Gone. Only the stones remember, before Rome, there were the Celts, a people of mystery, of nature, of song. They left no empire, no written history. Yet their spirit lingers in the hills, their myths in our stories, their courage in our blood. Some say they disappeared. Others say they became Europe in the north. Forgotten kingdoms lie beneath forests and frost. The kingdom of Prussia, once a power that reshaped Europe, erased by wars and rewritten borders. Nations change, names fade, but memory never truly dies. Pompeii, a city frozen in its final breath, a silent empire within an empire. Every street, every mural, every body tells a story, how fragile glory can be. The volcano buried them, but also preserved them. Time took the empire, yet gave us its ghost. Along the Danube once stood kingdoms now erased from maps. The Avars, the Moravians, the Goths. They built, fought, vanished. But Europe is a palimpsest, a manuscript written and rewritten over centuries. Each layer of ruin is a sentence in its endless story. And yet, amid all that loss, Europe endures. Cities rise on ancient bones. Empires collapse, but culture survives. From the ashes of Rome to the smoke of modern wars, the continent rebuilds itself again and again. Resilience is its oldest tradition. Perhaps that's Europe's true empire. Not land or armies, but memory. A civilization built on remembering what was lost. Each ruin, each stone, a reminder. Power fades, but stories last forever. This is the Europe history tried to bury, but could never silence. A land of vanished empires, hidden knowledge, and unbreakable spirit. And its story is far from over.